All right. So I know that we said we were going to do the pages. We're actually going to do that in the next video because I realized that I actually missed one of the key things that we were supposed to do. Because our theme comes with a lot of great options, it comes with options for WooCommerce itself. We're actually going to go through that before we go through the pages. So I'm just going to go down here to theme options in the back end of our website. Okay, and we're going to go and over to where it says e-commerce here. Now, some themes might not have specific settings to the level that this one does for e-commerce, might not have any at all. Hopefully it does. You've probably picked a good theme if it does. And if you're using the same one I'm using, then you'll be getting a screen like this. So we're just going to quickly go through some of these settings and explain them and make some selections. I know that when we first went to the website, we saw that it didn't really have a cart widget. So when we added something to the cart, we didn't see where it was located. Well, that's because we didn't add it in to be able to view the cart very easily. So let's do that. So click on here, and where do we want it? Do we want it on the left bar, top bar, disable? I'm just going to put it in the header. Okay, so that's going to be up in the top, and I'm going to save it. So that way the customer can easily find their cart and see what they have in it. Now here's an interesting setting here, just catalog, disable the add to cart button in shopping cart. I would only recommend actually doing this particular thing if you do not intend to directly sell any of your products on your website. You can still have the catalog of your products and the ability to see and click on products, but not the ability to buy. This would be in this instance where you do not want to sell directly to your customers. You want to sell directly on Amazon, for instance. So when you go and you create a product, which would be just up in here, we're going to be doing this later on, under products, and you can click add product here. We'll just quickly do that. You can actually, you add your product name, but in here, in the details of the product, you could actually have a link to purchase it directly on Amazon. So you can do any sort of work or design work in here to make that happen. Maybe have the Amazon logo, buy it now on Amazon, and it takes them directly to your product page on Amazon, for instance. Or if you're doing eBay or other places, you can do that as well. So that's a way to skip the internal e-commerce system and directly link to other external systems without having to compromise your website or do anything spectacular. So that's great. All you have to do is just flick the switch, and it's in catalog mode only. If you do that, I believe this cart widget, I'm not sure if it disables, but you can also disable it up here if you intend to do that. So this is only if you're not selling directly on your website, but you're just linking to your Amazon pages or wherever else you have your products on. Okay, I'm not doing that because we're actually going to be showing how people can buy stuff directly from your website. So we're just going to leave it so that people can add it to the cart. Show products toolbar on the shop page, and so we're going to see what that means by opening up our website. So I've opened up the website here, and we're going to go to the shop page, and to do that we just go /shop. We will have links for that in the future. Okay, and so let's see what happens when we turn it on and off. So here's the shop page. It's got it's got the categories here. I know earlier we talked in WooCommerce about having the shop page display categories or not. It looks like this template overrides that setting, and it does. It must be directly in the actual thing here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to see what it did. Now I'm going to turn it off. We're going to save that. We're going to go to our products page and hit F5 and refresh it and see what happens. Okay, got rid of this top filters bar that was there. So that's what that is. So this is, I would probably not get rid of that unless if your store is really simple and you don't have a lot of different products, you might get rid of all the sorting and products per page. If you're only having a few, yeah, I would just get rid of that. So you would actually click this, this to the off. In that case, widget columns for filters area. So how many different filter settings you have? It's 3. Okay. open filter by default. So this is all part of that filters toolbar. Play with it and see what your particular preferences are. That's the whole thing about this, is you don't have to do it exactly as I do it, especially when it comes to design or your preferences. Okay, you want to make sure that some of the core settings are the same, but as far as this stuff, it's sky's the limit on what you can do. So as you go through this, click things on and off. Go to your site and check it by refreshing the page. And so there's things that are overriding core WooCommerce functionality that we've set when we set up WooCommerce, like for instance the out of stock icon. So you can actually enable or disable that, and it looks like it overrides WooCommerce out of stock notifications. So okay, the sale icon, now this could be in here. See how it has this little symbol here, this little sale thing. Some people don't like that. They just want it to show that it's on sale by having this crossing out of the cost here. So you can actually get rid of that by, it looks like, enabling or disabling it here. So I'm assuming the template has also another little hover over icon like this that says it's out of stock. So you can actually disable that if you wish as well, or leave it on if you want people to see out of stock. I don't, like I said before, it's, if you have stock coming in, you might not want to put it, or you want to back order. If you want to manage stock, then I would definitely leave that in there so that they know. But I don't think it's good to discourage your customers from buying from you, especially if you know it's going to come in soon. All right, and show sale percentage. You can turn that on and off, and so that's really great there. You can show that. Some people don't. I don't see a lot where I'll see 20% off or something, but okay, product page banner. So this is the banner up at the top of a product page, and so we're gonna just check out to see how this works. So just checking this out, it doesn't look like it actually does anything for this particular the particular design of template that we had selected. So that this might be a feature that exists on other pages. Text for empty cart, your shopping cart is empty. So this is what happens when you go to your cart page. So if you go to your website and type in /cart here, it'll tell you it's empty, and this is the message. So you can write whatever you want there for that one. Okay, and so I'm going to save the changes here. Okay, and go to the next one, categories. Okay, category style default. Well, tile with background, zoom, diagonal, classic. So let's just see let's see what happens when we do that. So I'm just going to go to I was on a product page here. I'm just going to go back to this one, and I'm going to refresh it. Let's see here. Just going to the shop page. So let's see here. So just browsing through and just doing exactly what I was explaining to do before, is trying to change some of this stuff and see if I notice a difference of what it is. If they don't document exactly what these things do, you gotta go on a hunt and look for what that means. And I'm not seeing much changes to the site when I do this kind of stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna leave it as the default for now, but you can go here and see if it does make any improvements. The product page layout. So this is probably this view here, where we see all the things. See products per row. It's showing 3 products per row here. And it's on a grid list, list only. So I'm assuming if I do this, it's going to change the way the function looks like on the site here. So let's see. Yeah, so now it's a side-by-side list view of products. So if you only have a few products, this might be a nice view to have actually, than just the grid/list view. And so I'm just going to go back to, I'm just going to reset this back to default settings. So keep going through this and try out different layouts and whatever works the best for your shop on each of these different options, and keep refreshing them. I don't think it's conducive in this video to go through each one of these, because no matter what template you have, that's gonna be different for each template. So this is the one we're using, and it seems to be pretty comprehensive on each section of this. So I'll just quickly go over what the sections would mean, and I'll leave it up to you to go and do a little bit of trial and error on this and see what works the best for you. The single product page is just the product page itself. So this is that store sort of category list view. If I click on an actual product here, which it's not showing any pictures because there is no picture, is this page here, and how this page actually looks. And you would make those changes here, how, if you wanted a sidebar or not, what type of layout did you want for your image of your looks like the image layout, etc. So go through these and see what each of these do. And if you're not sure, I mean, there is Google, and like, for instance, if you didn't know what Ajax is, I know we've talked about this before, but you can always Google this just to understand what that means, okay? Or you can ask in the Facebook page, but for instance, this Ajax add to cart for simple products is when I'm on the product page and I click add to cart, it should go up to it should just go nice to my cart there. So now it's showed up here, now this particular one, and I didn't leave the page when it did that. It did a little, sort of a little design thingy, and then it turned up over here. So that's what that is. And so here we go, like zooming and things. So just go through those, try them out. And if you do have any questions, feel free to ask away on Facebook. Quick view. And this is it looks like it's very specific to this template. My assumption is over here when you're in this page, you might have like or maybe it's up here in this sort of quick view area. But again, feel free to try these out and refresh it and seeing how your website reacts. Unfortunately, there's so many different variations, it would be impossible for me to go through those variations. So the best thing I think would be to learn is to just go through it how I would go through it if I'm introduced to this template for the first time and I don't know what this stuff means. I have to go and just basically find it out for myself by trial and error. Especially if the documentation that came in isn't the greatest when you bought the template initially. Okay, so this concludes this video on doing the theme options for our e-commerce portion. So finally, now we can say we're going to be moving over to the pages section and actually going iteratively through all the pages and setting up our website the way we intended to set up, with our colors, pictures, and all that stuff. So we're finally getting to the epic climax of this whole thing. And we're going to be able to see a real website that has real world functionality.